Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Hey listeners, it's Rebekah, and you're about to hear me and the podcast in just a minute, but I wanted to let you know I had some weird wonky mic issues, and so it doesn't sound terrible. It's not as bad as like an off-camera confession from one of the housewives where you struggle and strain to hear more. It's better than that, but not ideal. So sorry about that. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Criminality. It's a podcast about reality TV, true crime, where those things intersect. I'm Rebekah. Hi, Melissa.
Whew. Hi, Rebekah. I'm Melissa. How are you?
I am great. I froze. I forgot everything that we do, that we've done, that we're gonna do.
It's okay.
But I'm happy to see you.
Always happy to see you as well. That was quite an introduction. I enjoyed it. Keep people on their toes, right?
Yeah, like, wait, I thought this was, what is she saying?
It's the podcast.
Capital T.
Yeah, absolutely. Rebekah, huge week in true crime news, right?
Oh my gosh, Melissa, I'm still reeling and just, it's surreal. Of course, we're talking about, or I assume we're talking about,
yes,
Adnan Syed's conviction being vacated, which is huge. If anyone has paid attention to Serial, which I would guess a lot of our listeners have, they know what this means, and it's big.
It's so big. I watched a clip on Rabia's page last night just of him like eating some leftovers from the refrigerator. Yeah, and I was just like, my brain automatically is like, refrigerators look so different than they did 20 something years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a basic thing, but everything's going to be so different.
Yeah, and the overwhelm is real. For like, I'm experiencing it on his behalf. Like, I love that she's sharing these snippets because, of course, we're all just like dying to see him as a free man.
Yeah.
But I'm like, does he need a minute? Like, I don't know, but it's like I trust Rabia entirely because I know she cares about him the most. So like, she's only going to do right by him. But I'm just like, I can't even, I dissolve when I think about the overwhelm for his family, for him. Like, how do you function? Yeah. How do you look at a fridge? How do you, like, social media, like, just everything? It's just gonna be,
the whole world is different. It was pre 9/11 that he was even sentenced. I mean, if you think of it like that, the whole world has changed. It's wild.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy. I'm so hopeful for him and that they'll find the killer and, you know, come what may, that, you know, he will get a fair trial if that's the way it goes, whatever. Yes. But thank goodness something's being done.
Absolutely. And, you know, like I always say, which, you know, I don't say here, but on dialogue, like, wrongful convictions are lose-lose on every side. The victim loses.
Absolutely.
You know, obviously the wrongfully incarcerated loses, and someone who committed the crime is still walking or potentially incarcerated for something else, but could have potentially committed more crimes. So it's in everyone's best interest to really care and pay attention to wrongful convictions. So I think what Rabia has done with Adnan's story has like tipped the scales in terms of us caring. So that's
absolutely
the one upside. But
yeah, Hopefully it's a trickle down effect. I mean, I feel like it is more. I will say, this is going on longer than I meant to. I'm sorry. But I will say, when I first like learned about wrongful convictions, it was so foreign to me, because in my mind I thought, this is like a very naive, very young look at things, but I thought, if you get convicted, there's obviously, enough evidence. You're obviously guilty. Not realizing you really could be convicted of something. And not only that, they could have the evidence just sitting there. They could have everything sitting there, but it could still take 3 years for them to process everything. So it's not, an oversight. It's not an overnight sort of thing. So it just blows my mind. So she has done so much for him, obviously. And I think just wrongfully incarcerated people in general. She's amazing.
100%. And I don't think you're alone in that. I think so many of us who've like been privileged enough not to be touched by like, serious crimes, had that same feeling. Like, if you're in jail, you belong there. It's a real sobering moment when you realize that is in fact not always the case in up to 25%.
It's terrifying.
Like it's pretty alarming. So yeah, that was worth spending a moment on. We'll obviously be watching that super closely. Other huge news, I joined the ranks of Bravo Celebrities and started a new hobby called pickleball. You may have heard of it.
Oh yeah. How was it?
It was really fun, Melissa. I don't like sports. I don't like working out, but I really need a hobby. I've been told by a lot of people who love me and my life, and I agree. So I thought this one, I don't know, just for whatever reason, it seemed compelling, and I went and I had a really fun time, and I'm going to play again.
Oh, that's awesome. Please tell me Randall had nothing to do with this decision. I need a promise.
I'm not going to say he didn't have anything to do with it, but he did not have anything to do with it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but I do think like people have made pickleball look fun.
It's a thing now.
Yeah, and I've seen it, and it's like there's one of 3 places in all of New York City, and it's right in my neighborhood. So I'm like, let me try. And honestly, my son plays, and I want to do something with him before he goes to college that doesn't involve me, yelling at him or nagging him. So we're going to play pickleball.
Sure. I love it. That's so awesome.
Well, I just also want to say before we get into today's episode, happy birthday. It's a little bit early, but when this comes out, it'll be almost just about your birthday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I am having a birthday again.
Melissa, what's the alternative?
I know it's a privilege to get older, and the older I get, the more I really do feel that, and the more my TikTok feed is just like really women in like their 90s talking about all the things they do to stay young. And so I'm like, my TikTok is on it for me. And so I'm like doing all these exercises of sitting down and standing up without my hands, like all this stuff they talk about mobility. There's a 90-year-old woman, 90-year-old woman on TikTok who I'm already forgetting, who looks 50, 60, something like that. And she's just like adorable. And she's always talking about just taking it one day at a time. She's like, she is my superhero this year. I am obsessed with her. If anything happens to her, it will be a dark day for her family, but also for me. It will not be good.
Will you share her profile with me so I can?
Yeah, I'll find it. I don't think I follow her. She just keeps coming up because I spend so much time watching her stuff.
TikTok has not like figured me out because I'm like so YA obsessed. I think they're feeding me things that are making me feel terribly old and terribly bad about myself. So I need more of that to like look forward. But I'm sure you've seen the woman whose face is cropped out. So only her neck is showing, and she's the example. They're all giving, all these dermatologists saying like, this is what happens when you neglect your neck with sunscreen. And it looks like 30 years older than her face, and you can only see the bottom of her face. I'm getting haunted by those images, and I'm just slathering on sunscreen every day on my neck.
I can't live in that world. I would shut my TikTok down so fast. Mine knows me so well. I mean, it's almost like comical at this point when I scroll. I'm like thinking of where my brain is that day. And I'm like, let's head to TikTok. And it's beautiful.
Terrifying. I mean,
absolutely getting my information stolen every moment of the day, but it is worth it for the moments of serotonin that it gives me.
That's like Instagram ads with me. I'm like, I did want a pale blue mushroom cardigan for fall, or at least I do now. By now, that is actually en route to my house. So with that, shall we get into today's story? Oh, this is perfect because I'm a fit person now.
Oh yeah, of course.
I play pickleball, so this is going to tie in today.
Perfect.
If you remember, our clues were Malibu, caffeine, and Bentley. We will get to all of them, but first, a little story. Once upon a time, like that kind of story.
I like it.
There was a young girl growing up in beautiful Southern California. The daughter of 2 professionals, life was mostly good. Until at age 12, when the girl's parents divorced, she became depressed and found comfort in food, like many, and suddenly found herself at just 5 feet tall, weighing in at over 175 pounds. I believe it was at this moment that young Jillian Michaels said, never again. And she committed herself to a strict lifestyle of a healthy diet and vigorous exercise, and set on a path not only to stay healthy herself, but to help others who also struggled with weight to do the same. And she did. And it all went great. And there were no issues, no controversies, no lawsuits. The end. Okay. So for the real story now, because obviously we wouldn't be talking about Jillian Michaels if it began that way and if it ended that way. Melissa, I would love to know what your relationship is to Ms. Jillian Michaels and the show she's best known for, The Biggest Loser.
Okay, so beginning seasons of Biggest Loser, I absolutely watched. I'm trying to remember, are you going to get into when it came out? Because I have like feelings that it was like, was it before 2003? You don't have to tell me the year, but was it before 2003?
It was 2004. It was right after.
Okay, that makes sense. I remember being at my grandparents' house. My grandma passed away in 2003, so my grandpa was still there. Let's get real dark here. But I remember watching it and being over at their house. And Allie Sweeney was a host, and love her. She was awesome. And so I was really into it for a couple of seasons, but that's about it. I kind of fell off after that.
What were you into about it? Like, what kept you watching?
Was I into heartwarming stuff then? I feel like I might have been into heartwarming stuff. I was grieving the loss of my grandmother, and I was into heartwarming stuff. So no, it was like people trying to make changes for themselves, for their kids, stuff like that. And so it was extreme. And so it was a time of extreme, right? That was like Extreme Makeover, Extreme Makeover Home Edition. That was like, we were not going to do anything slowly. It was going to be quick, and we were going to get results.
Yes. And what about Jillian herself? Did you have feelings?
I mean, I was terrified of her, but I didn't know that she grew up like having any struggles with weight, or I don't remember that. So
yeah, okay,
that gives her a little more credibility to me.
Sure.
Right?
So, yeah, no, that's a perfect segue, because in theory, I talk about, or I think about how Jillian sounds like the perfect person to help people lose weight and get fit. She did it herself. So she has firsthand experience, but she also, that must come with it, some empathy for someone in that situation, right? Well, I mean, actually 100% wrong, I think, because one doesn't need to know everything about the show, The Biggest Loser, to know that Jillian Michaels is pretty much, I mean, she really became the face of the show and was the breakout star, and how she became part of our collective pop culture consciousness. So the basic format of the show, which I have watched, probably a handful of shows on, so you're far ahead of me in terms of being a fan. But it did premiere in 2004 on NBC. So for anyone who didn't watch, like me, who only saw maybe a little bit of it, quick refresher is that it's a competition show where overweight contestants compete to win a $250,000 cash prize by losing the highest percentage of weight relative to their initial weight. So it's not like a pound for pound competition. That wouldn't be fair. It's relative to their weight in terms of percentage. The contestants are broken into 2 teams. Each team has a trainer, and that person's job is to train, guide, motivate them so they meet their individual fitness goals and bring success to the whole team. And this is where we meet Jillian in season 1. Straight out of the gate, she's really tough. And I don't see a lot of empathy or compassion coming from her, informing her work and her style. She's one of those, like, the pain just means you're doing it right types. And I know some people thrive under that and respond well to meaner trainers. Like, that's a thing. People seek that out. I am not one of those people.
Me either. No. Tell me how good I'm doing all the time. I want to make you proud of me.
100%. And it's hard for me to succeed under that. I kind of crumble. So it was actually also hard for me to watch the show, because I think I would have loved the heartwarming aspect of it, and I did, but it was so hard for me to watch them feel ridiculed and belittled and made to feel so small. I think it's best if we hear, for anyone who hasn't heard or maybe just forgets, really what Jillian's style was like. So let's just take a quick moment to set the scene.
You faint, puke, or die, keep walking. I don't care about makeovers. I don't care about your family. I don't care about anything. All I care about is that your gets smaller. That's all that I care about. 10 more, 10 more, 10 more, 10 more. I don't care if you both die on this floor. You better die looking good. Let's go. Back. It's a bummer. Guess what else is gonna hurt? Everything! All you need to do is work out and eat right. And shut up and listen to me. Now! You wanna quit? Do you wanna quit? 4 hours a day of this for 4 months. You better toughen up right now. 10 push-ups. But the only way you're coming off this treadmill is if you die on it. Do another one. Look, no, you can't. I don't want to hear I can't. Look your arms.
That would, to say that wouldn't work for me, it's beyond that. I would go one day and say, I'm done with this. I cannot do this. None of that would work for me, even a little bit, because to me, working out, like you were saying, pickleball, I have to enjoy it. If I like only find it to be physically difficult and somebody's yelling at me in my face, I'm not doing it.
The enjoyment part, that is going to come up later. So hold that thought.
Okay.
And when I saw this mashup, I'm like, there is nothing scarier. But then I saw another clip of her where she doesn't scream. And I'd like you to just watch one more clip and listen to one more clip.
5 years I have done this show. I have yelled and screamed bloody murder at every contestant that is walked in these doors. I haven't yelled at you in weeks. Why?
Because you believe I can do it.
No, Laura. Because you don't believe that you can do it. And you make me think that you can't. Why do I have a pervasive feeling with you that no matter what I do or what I say, it's not gonna matter? Laura's going to get sent home, and if I don't create some awareness for her now, nothing will change for this girl. Nothing. Nothing will be different. Laura, I'm about to do something so mean, probably the meanest thing I think I've ever done in this entire show. What's the weakest link on this team? Everyone answer the question and tell the truth.
Laura.
Tell the truth. Laura, tell the truth. You're ultimately doing her a favor. You need to trust me right now.
No, I mean, to have people just call me out by name, and I do not thrive in that. I do not survive in that. This is absolutely crazy.
It seems cruel and unusual. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, like the scariest Jillian is the not yelling one.
Yeah.
Who knew? Like that. Oh man. Okay. That's like, it's like the parental version of like, they're not mad, they're disappointed. It's so much worse. Like, the focused eyes on you. Like, I am not yelling on you. And like, that's the problem.
Ooh, right.
Okay. So let's get back to this. So let's say on the surface, you're okay with this because the adults are willing participants, right? They agree to whatever challenges are ahead of them because they truly want to change. I mean, that desire is real. And the cash prize doesn't sound so bad either. But it's primetime TV. And like you said, it was the era of extremes. So they can't just show what it actually looks like to lose a significant amount of weight through healthy eating and diet, because that's boring and takes forever. And like, isn't a roller coaster ride. Well, it is emotionally, but it's not a TV spectacle. So they have to do things like exploit the circumstances by putting the contestants in scenarios like them being alone in a room with a personalized refrigerator. And by personalized, I mean their name is on the front of it. And inside is all their favorite junk food. And then, of course, film it to watch that, agony. They have temptation rounds where they're offered cash, fast food, luxury rest days to break their meals and fitness plans. And this is what they do on air that we see.
Right.
It's terrible to me. But let's go back a little bit and find out how Jillian landed this role in the first place. Now, if you remember my opening story, Jillian had her own transformation, and that was sparked by a martial arts class that her mom signed her up for because she was not confident. She was being bullied because of her looks, because of her weight, and her mom wanted to boost her confidence. So she signed up for martial arts class, and it worked. I mean, she got healthy, strong, and confident. After that, she reclaimed her life, got through high school, went to college, and after graduating, she got a job at an LA talent agency. And I think that's interesting because she's always been a little bit entertainment industry adjacent. Like, she definitely wanted to be in that world, but she hated the job. So she left it to become a personal trainer. And she must have been very good, and she must have charged her clients a lot because in just a few years, she opened up her own gym called Sky Sport and Spa, coincidentally with like a fellow fitness expert named Jackie Warner, who went on to have a Bravo show.
I loved Workout. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It was good. High drama.
I'm gonna have to look into this, and I don't know how that one never like made it into my purview, but never saw it. Glad you did. So Jillian's whole MO is that these extreme results happen through relentless workouts and strict diets. I mean, she says it in one of those clips. You need to work hard, eat right, and listen to me. Like
right.
Those are the rules. And she makes it clear that that's what her clients have to do. And when she's asked why she's had so much success as a trainer, Jillian told Women's Health magazine, I think there are a host of reasons: authenticity, passion, but another reason I think I'm so relatable is because I hate to work out. Melissa, remember what you said about enjoyment?
Yeah.
In what world does it make sense that this woman hates working out and has built an entire career and like empire around it?
I don't get that at all. I can understand not liking a couple of the workouts she does, but the overall feeling of working out, that doesn't make sense to me. Except maybe she's too extreme and crazy about it, and that's the problem.
Right. So that's either a lie because she works out aggressively, obviously every day, or it's true, which makes me think she hates herself.
Yeah.
Or she loves what it brings more than whatever she hates about doing it. With a lot of people say about working out, but most of those people don't go on to become trainers and build their career around it. So that just is like, I just immediately don't trust her.
Right.
Like, you hated podcasting. Would you start a second podcast?
Exactly.
Like, there are things we both probably don't love about podcasting.
Of course. But if overall I hated it more than I loved it or enjoyed it, then no, that doesn't make any sense for me.
Right. Okay. So anyway, she's constantly on the contestants about doing more, doing better, before she herself broke the rules right on the show. In 2013, there was a big scandal on an episode when host Allison Sweeney said, before you all step on the scale, there's something important that needs to be addressed. Last week, Jillian broke the rules and gave caffeine supplements to each member of her team without the doctor's permission. So I guess this could have been okay if the doctor had cleared it, because you don't want to be giving your contestants supplements that aren't approved by a doctor. So the next episode, they had to do a do-over challenge, and there was a penalty given to Jillian's team because of her action. Coincidentally, this was also the season that featured American Idol Ruben Studdard.
Really?
Yeah, and he had gone home the previous week. So the other surprise of the episode was like, whoa, Jillian cheated. Whoa, Ruben's back because he was going to get a
second chance because of that.
So when asked for comment on the caffeine supplement incident, Jillian responded, I stand by my opinion. A caffeine supplement is significantly healthier than unlimited amounts of coffee. And my only regret is that my team, they're the ones suffering the consequences of my professional opinion. So she shows a little bit of ability to see that like this negatively impacted her team, but she definitely, it suggests she thinks she knows better than the doctor.
Absolutely.
And also, what is the fun of a caffeine supplement? Like, unlimited amounts of coffee is fun. That's why we drink it and we don't take supplements. It's just me. Okay. But this little boo-boo on the show was not her first misstep regarding caffeine or supplements, or let's say diet aids. This seems to be an area where Jillian was getting into trouble off camera as well, not once, but 3 times. Now, in addition to her work on The Biggest Loser, Jillian's business is growing beyond just her appearance on the show. She is doing what every good reality TV star we know and love or hate does, and capitalizes on everything and anything she can. So in addition to workout DVDs, I think I have one.
Really?
I don't think I ever did it. I think I turned it on and quickly turned it off, and to a yard sale pile it went. But I can picture a cover in my house. 9 best-selling books. She also created and sold diet pills, which to me feels really antithetical to her whole message and spiel about the hard road of hard work and diet and exercise. So she created these under an LLC with a company out of Utah called Thin Care.
Oh, this has got skinny girl written all over it.
Am I right? Yes. So even worse, they partnered with a research company to help prove the efficacy of these products. And that group is called Basic Research. skincare and basic research. These do not inspire confidence in me as a consumer.
No, basic research, is that the best you've got to offer me? Like, I'd like mid-level research, if anything.
Yeah, we're not looking for superior research. We would like just your average research.
Run-of-the-mill research.
Run-of-the-mill research. That's good. Put a TM by it. So I'm sure you'd like to know the name of the products that were the center of 2 class action lawsuits and 1 regular one.
Absolutely.
Jillian Michaels Maximum Strength Calorie Control, Jillian Michaels Triple Process Total Body Detox and Cleanse, Jillian Michaels Maximum Strength Fat Burner. 3 different names for slightly different pills, but the promise was all the same. Take these to get a body like mine. Each of the bottles featured a smoking hot picture. Okay, I will give her that. The woman
absolutely
looks, she's beautiful, she's ripped. So she's got her picture plastered on all of them, and people want them, of course.
Right.
So in the first lawsuit, the Maximum Strength Calorie Control claim, she and Thin Control were sued for false advertising. It was pretty straightforward. It was by individual consumers. The women who brought the suit said they followed the instructions and didn't lose weight. What were the instructions, Melissa? Quote, 2 capsules before main meals and you lose weight, ... That's it. I can't believe she did this, honestly, and like has the gall to be on a show about all that they have to do to do. I'm floored. I don't know if I should be or not. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that she names it after herself right off the bat is already, it's already taken a turn.
Partner in this, you know.
No, and not good for lawsuits when it's like, I didn't have anything to do with it. Well, your name is literally part of the title.
Have fun with me. Jillian and her lawyer say, hey, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee for anyone not satisfied with their results, and that should be sufficient. So as is the case so many times, Melissa, we can assume she either is still fighting this, which I doubt because it was like 2010, or more likely they settled out of court because I can't find a verdict for the case.
Right.
However, it is the lawsuit connected to the 2 other products that are much more disturbing. Both the Triple Process Total Body Detox and Cleanse, super catchy.
Good job.
And the Maximum Strength Fat Burner are part of a class action lawsuit that essentially say, yeah, the products work. That's the good news. The bad news, probably potentially lethal. Yeah, I know you're dying to hear more, but let's pause here for a quick break to hear about today's sponsors, which will never feature diet pills, we promise. So the lawyer who brought this class action lawsuit to the LA Superior Court, it was on behalf of many, many, many consumers, all of whom didn't want to use their real names. So there, you know, for a class action, you have to have a lot of people. So the lawyer was attorney Kathy Hemsley, and she is suing, I've seen different numbers, between 5 and 10 million. The claims are that these pills and Jillian and ThinCare and Basic Research failed to disclose that the main ingredients of Jillian Michael Maximum Strength Fat Burner allegedly combined to make a toxic cocktail. So nobody died yet, but their investigations showed people were getting sick, and when they had a medical team review it, doctors were like, this is really, really bad. Right. So what was in it? One of the pill's ingredients was citrum aurantium.
Yep. Know that one.
Potentially lethal, known to cause high blood pressure, serious cardiac problems in certain individuals. So I'm sure it depends on your makeup.
Have you ever had that moment when you're leaving the house and you wonder, did I lock the door? Or worse yet, you start spiraling and you imagine all the what ifs. I used to feel that way all the time, but it wasn't until a few years ago when I heard about a break-in just a few blocks away that I realized I needed to really step up my home security game. And now I can spiral about the what ifs on things that don't matter, like reality stars, instead of the what ifs of home security. We've had Simply Safe protecting our house for the last few years now, and it's a total game changer. With Simply Safe's Fast Protect monitoring, I know within 5 seconds if something's actually up, and the lifeguards can actually speak to intruders to stop them. That's faster than a reality TV star can throw a drink. One of the things I really love the most is you're not locked into some over-the-top 90-day fiancé level contract drama. Simply Safe is actually affordable as well, less than $1 a day with no hidden fees, so it's easy to love. It's no wonder they've been named Best Home Security Systems by U.S. News & World Report for 5 years running. Whether you want to install it yourself, it really takes less than an hour, or have a professional handle it, Simply Safe is as easy as flipping channels between Chimp Crazy and The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So why wait for the drama to happen? Get Simply Safe and know your home is covered just like I did. Protect your home with 50% off a new Simply Safe system, plus a free indoor security camera when you sign up for Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/criminality. That's simplysafe.com/criminality. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Getting the smile and confidence you've been dreaming about, all from the comfort of your home, isn't a total mystery with Bite Clear Aligners. Just don't be surprised if all your friends start asking, "What's your secret?" Begin by ordering your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95. Bite Clear Aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer flexible financing, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
Predisposition to certain things, right? Like
Sure.
these are not just things people should be buying over the counter, taking casually.
Yeah.
As for the other product, the triple process total body and cleanse, Melissa, I'm sure you can imagine how this one might work. It's a cleansing.
Yeah, this is like those gummy bears that you can buy on Amazon that
Oh, no. It's a pill, but it acts like a laxative.
Oh,
So
that's what I
it
mean.
can-
There's these gummy bears on Amazon,
Oh.
and all the reviews talk about how, like, if
It
you
just
eat
comes
one, you just need to be in the
flooding out.
bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this was like pre-gummy era when everything was still, unfortunately, a pill, but it contained a potentially lethal combination of toxic ingredients that basically people took it knowing they were going to have
Yeah.
serious bathroom issues.
Trips. Mm-hmm.
But they weren't expecting the ulcers, the nausea, the vomiting, the fevers, the dehydration, and liver damage. Not funny.
Whoa.
The class claims this is not how consumers expected to be detoxed and cleansed. I would agree. Another thing they didn't expect, toxic ingredients, especially because Jillian and ThinCare claim that these pills, quote, make weight loss simple without harsh chemicals or laxatives. Well, that's interesting because the lawyer Kathy Hemsley says, I would like to know then, why do these pills contain Irish moss powder, whatever that is,
Yeah.
a red seaweed extract, which is used in gel form to dissolve ice on airplane wings. Sounds safe for consumption. Buckthorn, an aged bark that's so dangerous it's banned in most over-the-counter drugs. Bearberry, known to cause nausea and vomiting. Yarrow, a toxic lawn weed. Chinese rhubarb, which is a harsh laxative and dangerous diuretic that causes irreversible liver damage. And finally, fenugreek seed, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, which interferes with digestion and causes both diarrhea and gas. And frankly, I mean, I think you could assume that that's going to happen with these pills.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is all straight from CourthouseNews.com. Jillian's legal team replies, this product was vetted by experts, and we are confident we will prevail in court.
Congratulations.
Again, yeah, I know. I can't believe all that information is in front of them. They're not like, yeah, okay, maybe we went a little overboard.
Let's go with statement B.
Yeah, maybe when we were using things that defrost airplanes, like, you know, for consumption.
Wild.
Oh my gosh. So again, same thing. I don't see any evidence. She definitely didn't win. So again, I assume there was a major settlement. But in 2015, there was another lawsuit. And this one she instigated, and she came out very much the biggest winner. And it had nothing to do with diet pills. Jillian Michaels won a $5.8 million arbitration ruling against Lionsgate in a dispute over content posted for free on YouTube. So here's basically what happened. At the peak of her success on The Biggest Loser, Michaels had a deal with Lionsgate to distribute her workout videos on DVDs, and her contract allowed the company to post clips for promotional purposes and, I don't know, use them in different platforms, snippets of them. The DVDs were a huge success for both Lionsgate and Jillian. They sold really well, but at the end of her contract term, she chose to move elsewhere and began producing new content with a new production company. But Lionsgate held on to her workout videos and launched a free YouTube fitness channel called Be Fit, and they put large portions of the workout videos for free on there, allowing viewers to stream parts of her work. And Jillian argued, hey, I wasn't paid for that. It's like beyond the scope of our agreement.
Right.
But Lionsgate was making money on them because, of course, they're getting ad revenue from YouTube. And, of course, Google owns YouTube. So everyone is making money on this except Jillian.
Right.
So Lionsgate and Michaels eventually reach a settlement over unpaid royalties from the YouTube revenue, but the dispute didn't end there. Michaels said that by continuing to post her videos for free, fans were becoming less likely to pay for her workout, and she was able to prove that her DVD sales were declining during this period that they were being offered for free. So in addition, she's like, I should be paid retroactively for what you put on there, and you should pay me for future loss of revenue because people are no longer buying my stuff because they're finding it for free. And it's a lot more complicated than that, but she had great lawyers and they were really able to show numbers that backed all of this up. And the court ruled in her favor. And many in the entertainment industry saw this as a huge victory for artists because there are so many ways these platforms can take advantage of artists' work. And with Spotify and streaming, it is harder for artists to make money and to protect their work. So in this case, it was a victory for Jillian. Now, I would argue that some of her behavior and treatment of people has been criminal, but so far her legal troubles have lived safely on the civil side of crime, except for this one time where she was the victim of a crime. In 2012, Michaels experienced what so many of our Bravo celebrities and reality stars have and continue to go through when it was a home invasion. This is our Malibu clue. I know. One morning, she went to find her Hermes bag, which feels relevant. It's a nice bag, expensive bag, where she keeps the keys to her car, which is a Bentley. Both were missing. No bag, no keys. And that's when she looks outside and sees no car in her driveway. So the police do the investigation. They find the man who stole her purse and keys, and they figure out he actually came into her home and took them right off the kitchen table while she was in another room watching TV with her family.
Oh my gosh.
That man actually has an interesting story. It was his second auto theft, so he got a really major sentence of 17 years in state prison. He also represented himself. I went down a rabbit hole like watching that whole thing.
Yeah.
That's for another story. But he is in jail for that crime.
Wow.
Now, so, she's had her wins, she's had her losses. And you might be thinking, okay, maybe she's just a shrewd trainer who got caught up in the money of it all. It's happened, right?
Yeah.
I bet she's like really cool in real life and is liked by her peers and other TV celebrities and isn't involved in any feuds. No, sorry, bad news. She gets in fights with everyone.
Really?
Like Al Roker. Anyone who speaks publicly about a diet that worked for them, she is right there to say why they're wrong and what's bad about their diet. And it's just annoying. Like, she isn't the only expert on this. And so people find what worked for them. And, it turns out she has a fitness adversary, and it's one of Bravo's own housewives. Any guesses?
Is it Teresa? I don't have a clue. Okay. No, I don't know.
This is her brand. She's all about working out.
Oh, Tamara.
Close. Really close. They're peas in a pod. They're teas in a
pod. The boring one. Teddy.
Yeah. Yeah. So in 2020, she came after Teddy's weight loss program, All In with Teddy, and is quoted as saying, these women they're not nutritionists. They're not registered dietitians. It sounds like they're not certified fitness experts. See, this is where I say, this is still Jillian talking.
Of course.
Get out of your lane. You don't see me commenting on politics. I don't understand half of these policies. I'm not an economist. I didn't go to school to study foreign policy. You know what I mean? That's not my lane. I would say stay in your lane. And when you're in your lane, do your work. Okay.
Eye roll. I mean, I get it, but eye roll.
Complete eye roll. Before you even know the next thing I tell you, you're rolling your eyes, right? I mean, Teddy deserves that look. Like, All In with Teddy All In has its own problems.
Totally. Well, the All In, when that all came up with all of like what people were doing in that program and just the things that her trainers were saying to people, the diets that she had people on, it was disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jillian could have almost won me back by criticizing All In with Teddy until.
Oh, no.
Okay. So you have the quote I just said about, staying in your lane, not speaking about things you don't know.
Okay.
I dug up a 2012 quote from an E biography interview with Jillian, and this is what she says. I would like to win a Nobel Prize. In a perfect world, I'd like to get to the place where I walk away from everything and I can be like pure Bill Gates, cure smallpox. I want to turn around and be like, I cured smallpox. How about those apples? You know what I mean? Or like, I reversed global warming, end quote. Does this sound like a woman who is staying in her lane?
That is an unhinged person. Can you imagine coming up with all of those things? In my life, like, would I like to win an award? No, I don't even want to. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. Why would I want to win a Nobel Peace Prize? I've done nothing to deserve a Nobel Peace Prize.
I want to know, Jillian? Statistically, yes. Like, how many prize winners like that have ever said something that's stupid? Like, I can't. The ego on this woman.
The ego, exactly.
She is very small. The ego is massive. Like, I was floored, and I was so glad I found it because it just made that all the richer.
How about them apples? I don't ever want to say that again because now she's ruined it.
And we shouldn't. Like, she probably doesn't even let you eat plural apples.
Never.
There's sugar in them. Yeah. I bet you get a slice. Okay. So there was another feud in the Bravo universe. Jillian Michaels versus Andy Cohen.
Ooh.
Did you know this? So it all started with a comment Andy made in 2013. He was asked, who's the least favorite guest you've ever had in the clubhouse? And he, without hesitating, said Jillian Michaels. And I looked for that 2013 appearance, and you can see like screenshots of it, but no links will go there. It is rubbed, but it must have been bad. But she's been on since. So Jillian, 5 years later, claims that Cohen hates women. She slams the Real Housewives franchise, and Andy responds and says, this from the woman who screamed at people for a living on The Biggest Loser. She should stay in her own lane. So there's a lot of lane staying and lane
there is
work.
There's lots of lane talk. Lots of lane talk.
Yeah. So here is a clip from a season 9 episode on Watch What Happens Live.
Sure. What is the biggest mistake people make working out or trying to lose weight?
Biggest mistake, falling into fad diets. So things like cleansing, fasting, huge mistake, damages your metabolism, eats your own muscle tissue, very bad. Don't do that.
What about the classic thing that I do when I want to lose weight, which is
you look like you're doing things right.
Thanks. Which is high protein, cutting out sugars and just sticking to proteins and vegetables. Is that foolproof, or does that kind of get old if you just do it for too long?
For me personally, I think it's unnecessary.
Okay.
As long as you're working out and you're eating a reasonable amount of calories, you can work in any food with moderation. I just would say go chemical free. So try to avoid trans fats, artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, things like that.
Okay. What about the good herb?
Okay, sorry, I was listening to her expertise on high protein and vegetables. But that's funny though, I even wanted to hear what she had to say because there's still like some credibility I give to her, right? Because she has this like rockin' bod and works really hard for it. So somehow I still cared about her opinion there.
Oh, I know. And Andy does too, right? I mean, apparently he really dislikes her, but was like, wait, so I'm doing this high protein thing. Is this good? Like, you still kind of want her stamp of approval. But interesting that she talked about fads, and I'm like, so diet pills with the words fast and cleanse in them, not a fad? Like,
I know. She tried to make herself very likable. She was like laughing really hard at him and just like, look how nice I am, everyone. It looks like she's trying so hard to stay kind of in that space that you just described, and I don't think it comes naturally to her. Yes, yeah, exactly. So this was 2013, I'm realizing. So this is post these lawsuits. So she, I think, was trying to change her messaging a little bit. If you go, I looked at all her products now. She does still sell pills. None of them have those names. They're different, and they're definitely called like wellness supplements now. Like, she is tried to angle this all to be more of like a health and wellness thing now than like a diet specific. But I do think those older products are probably goners. And for the last and most recent feud, and perhaps this is the most recent people have been talking about Jillian Michaels. She was interviewed on BuzzFeed News about the topic of body positivity, which most of us would agree is a very positive change in our culture of kind of self-acceptance, and that beauty comes in many sizes. And the host brought up Lizzo as an example of a woman who we get to see like doing her thing, killing it, and who isn't a size 0. Right.
And we can celebrate her body. And Jillian didn't just go with that flow of conversation. She stopped it. Did you remember this happening?
Yeah, now it's sounding familiar. Go ahead.
And
I don't really remember it.
Here's what she said. Why are we celebrating her body? Why does it matter? Why aren't we celebrating her music? Because it's not going to be awesome when she gets diabetes. So Lizzo did not respond to this, but everyone else on the internet did. Sure. And this is kind of where we can land the story, because she has not evolved with the times. In 2022, weirdly, The Biggest Loser is still on, but the ratings are, it went away in 2016.
Okay.
Came back in 2020, but viewership is down. And I looked at the chart of, it's like, just keeps going down. I think it's a matter of time until it's completely canceled. But the show wouldn't get pitched today. It wouldn't live in the same way. It would be so different. And I don't think she's gotten that. And so she's now on this apology tour saying it wasn't against Lizzo. She loves Lizzo. Her kids love Lizzo. It was about she said, you will never get me to celebrate an overweight body. She just looks and views it so it's just objectively bad, and it objectively means you're unhealthy and you're going to die. And I just think we know now that is not always the case.
Yeah.
And it just keeps this focus on the external and the image. And I think people are so desperate to move away from that to a place of more self-care and self-acceptance. So she just seems so resistant to that movement that you have to wonder why. Like, that's honestly, I think it's like self-hatred. I think she hates herself and she wants everyone else to.
So, okay, this is me pulling from my vast knowledge of television, but you know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Selena from Veep. Remember on Veep?
Yes.
And how she grew up being heavier, and she just hated everyone that was heavy, and it was like a self-loathing thing. I think because they didn't have, or maybe felt like they didn't have control at that time, that they just go back and hate that person. Now that is a character on television, but I do see it for her, where I feel like she just hates that she was ever in that position and kind of doesn't understand how anyone else would do it, and hates the fact that she was, and then therefore hates them. Because it comes from, you kind of have two routes there. You're getting healthy, you're excited, you want to help people on their journey, or like, you're a piece of crap and how dare you, and projecting, right?
I think you nailed it. I think it's a complete projection. I think she really hates herself, and I think she hates people who can't do what she did. I think she has no understanding of unique circumstances and factors that impact a person's ability to lose a significant amount of weight, like genetics, circumstances, support, resources,
money, all of that,
desire, like all of it. Like, so anyway, yes, I think that's a great comparison. And to wrap this up, she now lives in Malibu still with her new wife and 2 kids. And I thought it might be fun, because we haven't done it in a little bit, and we have a little bit of time to do a little criminality court in these rulings. Since we didn't get official verdicts on all of them. So we have the Lionsgate ruling, which we did find out she's the winner, but how would you have ruled? In her favor, or in like YouTube, Google, and Lionsgate?
In her favor, I definitely think,
Me too. False advertising, the smaller of the lawsuits that were false advertising. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Same. I think this one's going to be easy, but toxic cleanse and fat shred pills, the class action lawsuit.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Guilty.
Yeah. I'm going to think about it for a while too. Guilty. Team Andy, Team Jillian?
Team Andy.
Team Lizzo or Team Jillian?
Team Lizzo.
Okay, this is actually probably the only one that's a head scratcher. Team Teddy or Team Jillian?
Pass. I don't have an answer. I refuse.
I feel like they might live in the same lane, if you will.
It really is. They really are
together. They need to walk it out on a lane, because they should actually team up. Those
totally.
Two. Oh,
agreed.
Can you imagine? What would their show be called?
Tale of Two.
All in the lane with Teddy and Jillian. Oh, I would never.
I just know I don't want to participate in it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to think about it. I want to watch Workout again though, because I want to find that one, because that was extreme, like workout people or whatever. And I wonder I'm sure the diet stuff was just bananas too. I just don't remember that.
I wonder if it's still findable, because I mean, I didn't look hard, but
I think it was called working it out or something. I don't know.
I think it's just Workout.
Maybe.
I mean, that's what my notes say.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know. Could have gotten it wrong, but
trying to make it more clever. It wasn't.
Yeah, well, it could have used it. And for that matter, I wonder if like Fin Care ever changed their name, or Basic Research.
Yeah. Why do I feel like Jillian and Jackie dated briefly? They might have. Maybe that's part of it. Am I making that up?
I did look at her dating history and I don't remember their names. I know she's with a designer right now. I can't remember.
Okay.
Their name. But yeah, so that's the story of Jillian Michaels.
Wow. Our friend Kim is going to be so excited because she is not a fan of Jillian Michaels. And for good reason. Now I understand why exactly. I mean, I knew a lot. I mean, I haven't watched it in so long, so I just don't remember how terrible it was. But I know they talked about people like absolute garbage. And it just, that is not for me.
The other case against that show, even set aside Jillian for a minute, is that they've done, follow-ups. So many of the people have gained the weight back. I mean, it's such this like unique situation where it's like finding love on a dating show, like The Bachelor. It's, you put them in the perfect scenario, albeit a hard one, but like you can succeed here within these confines. But when you go out in the real world, it's just so hard to sustain. So I don't know what the point of it is anymore. And I just can't believe there's someone who enjoyed building their whole career on this type of torture. It's like psychotic to me. I don't understand.
Loathing seems to be what we're taking away from this. Yeah, no, I agree.
So why don't we instead switch gears and talk about what we've been watching that isn't Jillian Michaels?
Sounds good. Would you like me to give you my clues?
Yes, that's really what I was struggling to find the words to say.
Here you go. You ready? You're going to get this.
Don't
TLC. You're going to get this. You're going to get this.
Edit.
You're going to get this. I'm keeping it in. You can try to edit me all day long. You're getting it.
Well, you edit, so
I edit, so it's not going anywhere. TLC, Flagstaff. I know you don't have it yet, but our listeners are cluing in. Here's where you're going to get it, Rebekah. Basement wife. Don't overthink this. Basement wife.
Sister Wives.
It's Sister Wives. That's, okay. I mean, I haven't. Yeah. See, you got it.
It was going to be like a very specific niche.
No.
About Sister Wives that I didn't know.
Sister Wives, season 17. It's back, baby. And it's better than ever. Yes. So we are 2 weeks in. We're living in 2021. Like, literally, like January is when we're seeing this from.
Are you ready for that?
Lots of COVID stuff.
Yeah.
But now we are watching in real time Cody and Christine breaking up. Christine coming to Cody and saying, I can't do this anymore. Right. And the best part of the whole thing is the episode this past week was called The Favorite Wife. We are hearing them with their words say how Robin gets preferential treatment, how her kids get preferential treatment, all this stuff that everyone's kind of hinted at and everyone off of the show talks about is finally being addressed. It's so good. So if you've dropped off the Sister Wives train, you have to come back onto this season. If you've never watched it, it's going to take a lot for you to get there, but mostly people who haven't watched or who have watched it and just skipped a little bit. It's so good, guys. It's so good. It's messy. Wow. Christine is a freaking saint. Our entire TikTok is just me putting audio over Cody doing things. Yes, that's all. It's just a TikTok, a Sister Wives stan account at this point.
Remind me, is she your favorite?
Christine. I love Christine.
Yeah,
yes.
So. Okay.
She's a basement wife. She's gone. They, on the show now, like in the preview, it shows the rings, like they had the 4 rings and one of the rings falls down because she's gone now. It's so good. And we're hearing his older kids don't want to talk to him, which all of these things are sad, right? That is a sad thing that his kids are like not wanting to have anything to do with him, but it's his freaking choices that are like doing this. So it's like
consequences.
Totally. And hopefully he'll see it. And I bet he's a giant narcissist. So anyway, if you like Sister Wives content, Surviving Sister Wives is like my favorite podcast. They're so good, so funny. And yeah, so our TikTok right now is, sorry, Rebekah, basically only Sister Wives content until I move on, which won't be this season.
You own our content on TikTok, and I'm fine with that. You're doing a great job.
It's something. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I had a lot going on last week, so I didn't make it to any other TV. So Rebekah.
Yeah.
What are you watching?
Some stuff. First of all, thank you for the Barry rec. I went back to it.
So good.
And we're both really enjoying it. Okay, I'm going to go with this really new one. That was a great recommendation from my friend Kathy. I want to say thank you to her because I was really needing a new show.
Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's set in London, and the main theme of the story is unplanned pregnancy.
Ooh, I have no idea.
Okay, it's called Catastrophe.
And I've seen it. Yes, sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I don't think I had seen it, but what's so funny is she had told me the name, and all I could remember was that it was one word and like not good, not a good thing. And I got stuck on Revenge, and there is a show called Revenge.
There is.
From like 2011. And I was like, this just doesn't seem like something she would watch and recommend.
Yeah.
And so I verified, and she's like, it was Catastrophe, not Revenge.
Yeah.
Anyway, Revenge is about a couple who
Nope, not Revenge.
No, see? You see how I get myself into all kinds of trouble in my life? Catastrophe is about a couple. They're not a couple. It's a one-night stand turned into like a 6-night stand. He's American, was in London for business. They meet, and she's Irish but lives in London, and she gets pregnant. And he comes back and like picks up his life, moves in, and is like, I want to do this with you. And they're older. They're like late 30s, 40s. So they're both kind of like, why not? We both seem like nice people, but it's really funny. And it's written by the two starring actors. They wrote it.
Rob Delaney, right? He's
Rob Delaney. Yes. And I'm sorry, I don't have her name in front of me. She's excellent. And so, you know, their cultures are clashing. They don't really know each other. Now they're having a baby, and they're kind of dating and talking about getting married. And it's so fun. And it's in London. So, you know, I love it.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's a great, fun palate cleanser to pretty much everything else.
That's great. I need to, you know what? I think I watched the first 2 seasons maybe and just didn't.
Oh, you watched 2 seasons of it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Oh. I saw it when it was first put on Amazon. I forgot about it because it's been out for a while.
It's like 2015. I know.
But I liked Rob Delaney on Twitter. He became like a Twitter breakout star. He was one of those people who became popular from their Twitter, and that's where everything kind of set off for him.
No way.
And so, yeah, I mean, I could be making that up, but I feel pretty strongly that that's the case. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, so super funny. Yeah, he's great. So
you didn't love it? Okay.
No, I did. I just don't remember why I stopped watching.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Like, halfway into season 1, so I don't know if it kind of tapers off, but I'm excited because there's several seasons, and I'm like looking forward to keeping going, but we'll see. Yeah. Maybe it will end up being a bust. As for more clues, next episode, are you ready?
No. I made the decision this morning, and let's see what happens.
That works.
Here are your clues, Rebekah. Ready?
Ready.
Cooking. Skating. Boxing.
Whoa.
I
think of different people when I think of skating and boxing. So they must be on a cooking show, but who? And 2 sports. Okay.
Yep. You'll get it.
Ideas, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Sounds exciting though. And I like our fitness theme.
There you go.
I just remembered a listener messaged us saying, do you have a running list of all the shows we've been watching that we recommend? And the answer is definitely not. But I'm going to see if Basic Research can pull it together. Just kidding. We usually post an Instagram post with a picture of both shows, usually on the week after an episode airs, but going for a whole Instagram is kind of annoying. So I was thinking it would be a cool idea if we had a Google Doc.
Yeah.
A running list. And we are working on a website, everybody. So maybe we can add that to the website. So good suggestion from a listener. would be a nice thing to access. So working on it.
Yeah. And if you know on the episode you listen to, if you're like, oh, they talked about a show I wanted to see, it is in the show notes. So you have it in there
always
as well.
do put it in the show notes. That's right. But I would never remember.
Never going backwards.
Episode, someone said something, like, I'm gone.
Yeah,
I'm out. I need a Google Doc. Just send me into one place. So yeah, well, this was fun, Melissa. I hope you have a wonderful birthday weekend.
Thank you. I'm sure I will. It will be a birthday weekend. It is what it is.
It is. And it is almost your birthday. So
it is. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. On Tuesdays, you can catch Melissa on Moms and Murder, and you can follow us on Instagram at Criminality Show and on TikTok at Criminality Podcast TikTok.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
And Rebekah is doing more stuff in the world of dialogue coming up. So she's going to have new stuff there. So make sure you are subscribed to her feed so you can get it right away when it comes out immediately.
Yeah. Next month. I'm very excited to come back. So thanks
yay.
For the patience. Yeah. And until then, thanks everyone for listening.
Have a great 2 weeks.
Thank you for listening to Criminality. If you're enjoying the show, please head over to Apple Podcast or wherever you listen and give the show a rating and review. The reality is it would be a crime to keep your thoughts to yourself.
And come join the fun outside of the podcast and follow us on social media. We are at Criminality Show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Memes are welcome. We'll see you in 2 weeks with a new episode. Until then, you can catch my co-host Melissa on her weekly show, Moms and Murder.
And Rebekah Sebastian on her podcast, Dialogue, a true crime conversation. Don't forget, loving reality
isn't a crime.